Hi everyone, welcome to the first video of a new series I'm starting in this channel. It's going to be a new way of showing my progress on the kit, explain how the different parts of each system work, and gather some feedback from you guys as well. So this time we'll be going over the player needs system, specifically over the health system that I've been implementing over the last months, and that will be available to download very soon. So let's jump right into it. Let's continue with the module overview. So since this is the first time that I'm sharing with you the player needs system and explaining how it works, we'll start going over the basics of it, which are the UI, for example. This is the current UI. It has currently 5 needs. Of course, you can remove, add, or edit any of these ones. We'll go over this one later. But for example, we have stamina here. You go over the variables, you will see that it has a value, an icon. Also it has a flag to show the details. What are details for me is this number over here and the icons. We also have some flags to hide some of them from the inventory, from the HUD, and inverted to make the values go up instead of going down. That's basically for the UI. So each one of these has their own widget, of course. And one important part of this is that when the values are dropping or increasing, several things happen here. So when a value is increasing, this arrow or chevron will go up, and if it's decreasing, of course, it will go down. We also have some colors that you will see later. When the value of this has reached a certain threshold, it will change their color to yellow in this case, and to red if it's critical. So we have some variables here like danger threshold. It's currently set to 0.1, which is 10%. And we also have a warning, which is the half of the value. So continuing with the health component, let's go back here to the player needs. We have a group of functions over here, this one not, and we have some variables as well. We have the health system over here, which are internal variables, and the important one for us are the variables here that you can see. So first off, we have a bleeding mechanic that is optional. I wanted to leave it enabled for default, but you of course can remove it. And we have some configurations over here. Okay, so let's start showing on the system live basically. So if I hit play, you can see in the lower right of the screen, those are the needs. The first one, starting from the right, is health, the blood, hunger, thirst, and stamina. So of course, if I run, the stamina will go down. Currently I have a bug there that is showing that it's going up instead of down, but that's okay. This is still work in progress. So if I open the inventory, you can see here that I hid the stamina. This of course can be activated back, but I didn't want to have the stamina here. So we also have the weight system that I shared in another video, but I will be sharing some more information later. And we have the other icons. So when I refer to the show details flag, this is what I mentioned basically. When you set it to true, it will show the actual values, and if you set it to false, like here in the HUD, it won't show the detail basically. So let's pick up some items just to make the player nicer. So currently we have 3 healing items, which are the bandage that will stop bleeding, the painkillers, which will heal just a little of health, and we also have the first aid kit, which will do both and will heal the player to the 100% basically. You can also craft bandages, for example, and a first aid kit. So we have the requirement here. And for example, if I pick up a rag, I can craft the item and it will show up here. So before we start fighting some zombies and start the demo itself, I wanted to show how the item works. So if I go over the inventory, I will see a data folder, and in this DT items we have all the items on the kit. So we have currently 56 items, and this is where the pickups are set up. So going over the medical items, I am using a prefix to easily identify them. So you can easily see here that these ones are the medicals. We have some configuration here. Of course, you have the title, the pickup, the mesh, etc., the weight. The important part for the health system is the usage time. This is how much time it will take for the player to start seeing the effects of the item, basically. So if I set it to 0, it will, when I right click on the item, it will instantly start healing the player, and of course in this case it will have to wait 3 seconds. Also, another important part is can be crafted. Of course, you can set it to false here. For example, the painkillers can't be crafted right now, but if you click on this, it will be, and you will have to add the ingredients on another table. We go over on another video, so this doesn't last forever. Let's go back to the other important data table, which is the medical items. So this is where we set up how these items work. So in this case, we have the bandage, of course. You can see here that it doesn't heal anything. That's why it doesn't say anything on the item. It will stop bleeding. This is a flag to turn on and off bleeding. And the heal time. This is the time, how much time it will take the player to be healed to this amount, basically. So this will take, for example, 2 seconds to recover 20 of health, and in the first aid kit it will take 10 seconds to recover 100 points. So of course you can add a value, edit, etc. Okay, let's start playing with the kit. So let's get some damage. I already have some items here in the inventory, just in case I get hit too much. So let's have some damage over there. So what is going on here? We have 3 stacks of bleeding, 3 cuts, as you can see here. The blood is going down really quickly. I'm going to bandage. The first one will go, and the skin will start to desaturate. So it loses its color. Let's see if I can make it. Let's bandage again. And let's create another one. And let's bandage. 10. Okay. We're alive. So as you can see, we have some thresholds. So when the blood is below some values, the screen will lose its color. This is something that DayZ does. For example, you can of course disable this if you don't like it, or change the values. So as you could see, the bandage didn't heal us. We are still with 50%, but the blood is pulsating and its body is going up. So let's pick up the painkillers, for example. Right click it. Of course you can click the middle mouse button to inspect it. You can move it around and right click it, it will start healing over here. Okay. This is used for a quick healer, of course. And let's use the first aid. We will take the health to 100%. So in this case, the blood is going up really slowly. We can tweak this, of course. And yeah, let's start playing with some values. So let's start now with the customization. As you could see earlier, we have some values set up, but let's change them. So let's say we want the first aid to take 40 seconds to heal. So let's see. There's some values over here. And let's spawn a zombie just to get some hits. Okay, I don't wanna. Okay, we are bleeding pretty quickly. Let's you can see here this is really slow. Well, it's not so slow, but you get what I mean. It will take 40 seconds to reach the 100. Also, we have some visual representation of the bleeding that I forgot to mention earlier. So, as you can see here, we are losing blood. And this flow will change depending on the amount of stacks we have. So, what I did also here in the code is to have some keys to add bleeding stacks and remove, so we can easily add and remove them and avoid having to go to the zombies. So if I place the key button, we'll see it has one stack and is bleeding slowly. If I increase this, as you can see here, the blood is going really quickly and the blood effects as well. So I don't know if you can see it there, but it's going quickly. So let's go over the variables now. We'll change them in the character master, which is the owner of this system in this case. So when you click here in the player needs system, you will see the variables on the right, and the ones that should be set up are the variables food and water. In this case, we are not going to change those, and the health system. So if I set the can bleed to false and play, you will see that the icon is not there. Let me change here so it runs better. Okay. And if I get hit by a zombie, the player will never start bleeding, which is just simply damage. So let's enable again. And for example, we have bleeding chance. This is the probability of getting a cut, basically. Right now it's 0.5, which is 50%. So each time a zombie or a scavenger hit us, you will have a 50% of startup bleeding. For example, if I set this to 1 and go to the zombies, let me open it from here. Every time the zombie hits me, it will start bleeding stack. You can see here 4 hits and 4 cuts. Let me get back to 50. So we also have some more values, and in this case, for example, how much blood it will take, it will drain for every tick. The tick is set here in the frequency, so every 0.5 seconds, twice a second, it will drain 0.5 points, basically. Of course, you can increase this value. For example, if I want to regen 1 point every second, I can play and let's pick up a bandage. I will start bleeding. And when I stop the bleeding, it will recover 1 point each second, basically. And I don't want to go over every configuration because the video will take forever. But as you can see here, it's really extensive and easy to configure. So we have also max bleed stacks. This is the amount of stack it can reach. We also have some configuration for the saturation of the camera and the colors. And what else? Oh, as I mentioned earlier, I'm really into organization. So as you can see here, everything is commented. And you will also see if you want to jump into the call, you will see that, for example, every function in the system is commented when it's needed, probably, and it will have a comment explaining what it does. So finishing up with the video, I wanted to share what are the next steps for me. So I'll finish up polishing the UI. I still have some things that I want to improve. As you can see, it's pretty nice in my opinion. Of course, you can leave any feedback that you want. I also want to continue testing the kit before I release this because it's a pretty complex system, so I don't want to rush it and have many bugs. Of course, some bugs will appear even after the release, as any software does, but I want to minimize the amount of them, basically. And also I want to make sure that this works really well on multiplayer. As I already said, this is a complex system. I will take some time to fix the issues and also finish the testing, which will take some time as well. But in the meantime, I will prepare a next vlog or DEVLOG about the hunger system or the food and water system. Basically, I already have some items here that you can eat and drink, but I will comment them on another video. So please let me know if you have any feedback, recommendations, if you have any questions. I'm open as always, and see you on another one.